My name is Mark Evans. I represent Days Defect. I'm from Ballin Park, California, and I'm an MC lyricist. What attracted me to the industry, man, is just basically the culture of it. Majority of it is the culture of the hip hop. I mean, man, I didn't really know how to express myself as a kid. Growing up with, I was bad at expressing myself and I had a lot of stuff going on. And I discovered hip hop as a tool to express those self-expression, you know what I mean, and still and be free about it, you know what I mean, because conversations that you got with people, they're not really gonna feel the conversation at the moment, but put some melodies and some a beat behind it. I mean, people are gonna relate to it, you know what I mean. So that's what pretty attracted me to the industry, man, and to be able to reach thousands and thousands of people, man. That's it, you know what I mean, with the words that I spit, whatever message it is, what type of emotions. I mean, we ain't the only one that goes through that emotion. You might be able to help somebody out, like the way music helped me out as a kid, dealing with those issues and those problems, man, those type of feelings. So that's what pretty much attracted me to the industry and said, you know what, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. I've been in the industry about maybe 5, 6 years now. I would say I've been writing lyrics since I was in high school, but actually being active and doing shows, performing, recording, making tracks, putting it out there for people to hear, I would say about like 5, 6 years right now, to be honest. Actively. A lot of my inspiration actually came from, I would say, Biggie Smalls, Nas, Talib Kweli, Mos Def. On the west side of it, I was influenced a lot by Snoop Dogg. Was actually Snoop Dogg was the first album I heard. Doggy Style was the first album I heard as a full on hip hop gangster rap album. Tupac later on, when I started to understand more of what he was talking about and the messages that he had, and I would say West Side Connection. Yeah, I was a big fan of West Side Connection. I knew about Ice Cube. Didn't really know about Dub C, and I mean slightly on Mac 10, and the G Funk and stuff like that. But yeah, man, I would say those would probably be the main artists. And then also my homie K West actually is the one that introduced me to the whole cipher freestyle when we were in high school, and we would freestyle during lunch and stuff like that. I mean, I didn't freestyle at the time because at the time I was just straight writing. But yeah, he's the one that introduced me to that whole culture of that part of the hip hop, because I only thought hip hop was just on the radio or whatever it is, but he introduced me to that level of that. So those were basically my biggest inspiration as far as getting into this music industry, into this genre of music, to be honest. My fear was basically at times not being accepted for my, in the music industry as far as the culture, because, being a Filipino or a Pacific Islander Asian descent, it wasn't, I'd say it wasn't practical at that time, for my race to be into the music industry as far as hip hop. Growing up in the '90s and you know what I mean, and early 2000. I mean, when we first had the Asian in there, I mean, don't count out Bamboo, because I know Bamboo was big in the underground. The only one I would say was the dude from the Black Eyed Peas, Apple One, was Filipino descent. And then we had Jin, which is like the Asian cipher freestyler. And I mean, right now, that's what I love about hip hop, is it's grown and it was able to accept everybody and multiple cultures. I mean, to me, that was one of my fears as far as that was not being accepted in that sense, or even the things that I would rap about not being heard. You know what I mean? At the time, because like I said, I grew up in the era of gang banging and drug selling music, and I've been around it. I wasn't too active in it. I was never in a gang and stuff like that. So I felt like I couldn't rap about it, due to the fact that I wasn't active in it. But then again, I realized it's all perspective. You know what I mean? I could say it in regards of things that I've seen, not necessarily things that I've done. So that I would say would probably be like the biggest fear that I had, past tense had. Mark Evans, Untapped Hip Hop, Days Defect in the motherfucking building. We do a little something like this, Yeah.
They try to keep me down, nah. Throw the keys at the lock. Yeah, I'm always on the rise, though. Make my way up to the top. Damn, haters try to shoot me down. Bang, so I fire back like bang. Got a vision with the rain, seeking change when I aim. Now it's time that I make it rain. Whoa, wait a minute. Who are you trying to tell me that I couldn't make it? You see that I'm focused and you try to break it. They say I got the rights, but you try to take it. Like, hold up, I see that you got you down. Pick up, I hear and call me out. Like, get down, hands up on the ground. Better shut your mouth, don't you dare make a sound. I'm like, fuck that shit. Y'all shady motherfuckers better cut that shit. Push me to the edge that I chuck that brick. Don't get hit in the eye the way the depot did. Y'all hate when I lose control. Don't make me go lose control. Short fuse, I'm about to explode. A superhero with an alter ego, Freddy. They try to keep me down, nah. Throw the keys at the lock. Yeah, I'm always on the rise, though. Make my way up to the top. Damn, haters try to shoot me down. Bang, so I fire back like bang. Got a vision with the rain, seeking change when I aim. Now it's time that I make it rain. Back up the beats on the loose. Dogs off the chain and I'm tying up the noose. So keep it moving, better run for us. They got me fired up on the track, dropping bombs on it. I'm here, I ain't going nowhere. I'll bring the heat if you wanna go there. Try to cross the line if you really dare. Views from the top with a death stare. Look into the eyes of a madman. Deadly clipper here from the Badlands. Reload, pull the hammer, shoot. Goodbye, sayonara, deuce. Go up against me, lose. I be playing the hits, Bruce. Cold world, don't be slipping, homie. Freddy in the dreams, don't be sleeping on me. They try to keep me down, nah. Throw the keys at the lock. Yeah, I'm always on the rise, though. Make my way up to the top. Damn, haters try to shoot me down. Bang, so I fire back like bang. Got a vision with the rain, seeking change when I aim. Now it's time that I make it rain.
Being a Filipino descent, crossing over to that threshold of hip hop was actually eye-opening. You know, that's when I realized that hip hop wasn't about the color, the race, you know what I mean? Where you lived and all that stuff. Hip hop was literally a person's self-expression, you know, of how they feel, how they lived, and how, you know what I mean, how they view the world. And like I said, being a Filipino, I mean, a lot younger, it was harder because, you know, believe it or not, I had an accent. You know what I'm saying? And that accent wasn't normally heard in hip hop music, you know. So for me to have to overcome that, you know, that part of the whole aspect of hip hop itself, to be able to, you know, spit the way I spit now, I mean, you know, that's something that's like crazy. So I looked at it as in like, also it's like I was welcome, something that I fit in, you know, like hip hop welcomed me into the United States world culture prior to being in that third world culture, you know, and that's what it is about, you know. That's what I took on it as far as crossing over as a Filipino descent culture. I mean, Philippines is one of the most, like, you know, suppressed poverty out there, man, and in third world countries, you know, and to have that, you know, to have hip hop as kind of like, not to say a net, but a pillow to lie on at night, you know what I mean, when I was going through the roughest times of my life, then, you know what I mean, it's amazing. It's amazing. And that's what I took and learned off of that, you know, going into being a Filipino descent. And right now, I mean, the Filipino freestyle battles, man, if you guys check it out. I know you may not understand what they're saying, but the Filipino battles out there are getting crazy. I'm telling you, it's getting crazy. So, and I'm glad to see, you know, we got people like Kixi Siete, Bamboo, you know, and the Filipino descent out there just ripping that for us. And, you know, shout out to Apple One of the first mainstream Filipino guys to ever make it in the top 100. So, I mean, it's an amazing, man. And I don't know, hopefully just to add on to that legacy myself. The first test I had to go through was to get over stage fright and to get over what people thought about me. You know, that I think that was one of the biggest obstacle I had to get over. Was I shouldn't be afraid of what people are gonna think. You know what I mean? You know, going in there with a lot of insecurities that I had. Also, you know, not being a shy Filipino kid, not knowing the language too well, and being, you know, made fun of as a kid for not knowing it, and learning the actual lyricism of it and developing a vocabulary and a grammar to be able to do so, you know, was an amazing amazing part that I felt that one of the biggest obstacles I had to get over on that is to be, just to believe in myself, and let people know that, this is what I want to do, this is what I'm going to believe in, and people are going to hear that, and it's all going to translate into the passion, So I think to me that was the biggest obstacle I had to get over, was being, not letting people's opinions get the best of me or discourage me at all. My motive to continue was my family encouraging me, and at the same time my friends being in the same industry myself was a help. It's like, like when you work out, you got a spotter, right? So my homies were the spotters. Shout out to Days Defect again, Chaz Hendricks and K West. They were my spotter throughout the times where I felt like, all right, well, maybe this might not be the road for me, or maybe I should just give it up, and just knowing the fact that my family was right behind me, my homies were behind me, and at the same time wanting to spread a message, on going into my career, to spread it to the mass, the mass consumption, the people of the masses, and to be able to sit there and actually live that lifestyle, and be able to travel and stuff like that, and get to meet different people, man, and and see how my music helps people get through their tough times when they don't have nobody or anything that they could lean on. I want people to be able to sit there and lean on my music and know that they're not the only ones feeling the same, the emotions that they're feeling, and that somebody's out there that understands who they are.
Yeah. Yeah, really, I spit too illy. I'm from a city where the G's get gritty. I got a squad that'll ride or die with me. I got a squad that'll ride or die with me. G'd up from the feet up, khaki creased up. And Cali stay hot in here. Palm trees blowing hot breeze make the cop freeze. But still we walk it out of here. I grew up with a California love. Street smart like a California thug. I flip weights and fill plates so I can live straight. And I'm a warrior in my golden state. From LA to Sacktown, the Bay and back down. This effects spin hot rounds. West Coast, yeah, it's on and crack. And K West said it first, now we made it happen, yeah. No switch unless it's low riders. Ghost rider, the flow tighter. Out here we just slippity slide, slippity slide, slippity slide, and just dip. Yeah, no switch unless it's low riders. Ghost rider, the flow tighter. Out here we just slippity slide, slippity slide, slippity slide, and just dip. Now jump, 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 jump. Now everybody get up. Jump, 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 and throw your W's up. We about that nightlife, bright lights, getting lit up in Hollywood. Fast lane, no brakes or gold chains. I'm going off like they know I would. I'm a West Coast rider, third world survivor, live on Sunset Richard Pryor. One of LA's finest, always on my grind shit. That's a West Coast mindset. So fresh, so clean, go green. Get money if you know what I mean. And you can find me down PCH with a honey that's sweet as CNA. Yeah, the next time that you see my name, it's on the street, on the Star or the Walk of Fame. So, no lefts cause we right in here. So get the dubs up to get it hype in here. No switch unless it's low riders. Ghost rider, the flow tighter. Out here we just slippity slide, slippity slide, slippity slide, and just dip. Yeah, no switch unless it's low riders. Ghost rider, the flow tighter. Out here we just slippity slide, slippity slide, slippity slide, and just dip. Now jump, 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 jump. Now everybody get up. Jump, 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 and throw your W's up. No switch unless it's low riders. Ghost rider, the flow tighter. Out here we just slippity slide, slippity slide, slippity slide, and just dip.
From the beginning of my career to present time, my biggest fear was not to have the money or the funds to be able to fund my project, fund my career, because a lot of it is self-investment, and what I've learned is that no matter what you do, money is going to be a part of everything, and I couldn't let the idea of the lack of money be able to shut down my dream at all. So I've learned to sit there and be like, you know what, make certain financial sacrifices, to be able to be like, all right, where I could have bought something that I don't necessarily need, and then putting it into something that I necessarily believe in. You know what I mean? I could have sat there and bought video games and all that stuff, and could have bought some expensive ass shoes. You know what I mean? Don't get me wrong. I'm one to like nice things, but then I've come to understand also that right now is not the time to be splurging. You know, right now is the time to invest, and that's one thing that I've learned throughout my career from then to now, that my investments, is has to come out of pocket. You know what I mean? Because right now it's like I can't sit there and expect somebody to invest into me without, giving them their payback. That's what people, you don't invest something unless you're just gonna pay it forward. And for me, I understand that my music is gonna pay for it, and my passion and ambition is gonna pay for it later on throughout my career. So to me, why not put all the money into myself? And if I make that, that money later on, and I want to buy a Lamborghini, I'll buy a Lamborghini. You know what I'm saying? But I want to make sure that the career gets funded first before I could do all that. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's what I think would be my biggest fear, was not to be able to, was, like I said, past tense, was not be able to fund my music, which I'm doing pretty all right in right now. So, you know, the rewards of the industry as an artist, I would have to say the reaction of people. When I see people bobbing their head, just feeling the beat or the lyrics itself, or you know, looking down on stage on the people enjoying themselves, and really digging in or really vibing with the music, man. I think it would be probably the biggest reward that I would have. I could say it is for me as an artist in this industry right now. And for the people to, some people just come up to me, be like, "Hey, yo, man, I heard that line. That line was dope." You know what I mean? It makes sense. Certain things. I wrote this track before, which was kind of like it was a pretty sad track, bro. You know what I mean? I lost the tapes of that. That's why I wasn't able to release it. And my homegirl that sang the hook for that passed away off kidney failure. R.I.P. to her, Courtney Riley. But I remember I went into 7-Eleven and some dude came up to me, and I had given him a CD 2 years prior to that. And not knowing that he was going through some depression, man. Like, he was like, he was bad. He was in a bad place. And he came up to me and was like, "Hey, bro, remember that CD that you gave me with that track?" And I was like, "Yeah, man." He's like, "Bro," because that helped me out through a lot, what I was going through. Like, I was like, no way. Like, you know what I mean? I didn't believe it at first, But then, the way he was saying it was just like, you know what? It's like, he told me, keep doing your music, man, because, it really meant a lot to me. And it kept me from, feeling like I was by myself. And ironically, the song was called Alone, but, and that's when I realized, like, damn, that's the biggest reward right there too. Like, you know what I mean? Somebody come up to you and tell you that the track that you put your heart out on was able to help somebody else, and that's one thing that I was hoping that I could translate into my music, like the way, like I said, music and hip hop helped me as a kid, and I think that's, to me right now at this point, was probably the biggest accolade or rewards that I could ever heard. And that's the reason why too I'm not having gave up this music, man. Because I want to be impactful like that. One person to three person to 100 of people, and that's, yeah, man. That's my biggest reward, to be honest. Man, that feeling I get after a performance is, it's like an adrenaline. A lot of the times it's funny because you spend you know hours and hours preparing yourself to get on stage, and you feel all these anxiety, all this nervousness, and sometimes you're only up there for 10 minutes, but then again, it's like the time that you're on stage exceeds to the time when you're off stage. It's just like, it's an adrenaline rush for me. And it's like, some people skydive, some people bungee jump. You know what I mean? Some people do extreme sports to get that certain adrenaline, you know what I mean? For me, it's music, man. It's being on stage performing for the people, and, getting hyped and stuff like that. And you know what I'm saying? The whole thing, the lights, the music, the crowd reaction, I mean, the claps, the cheers, all that is all adrenaline. You know what I mean? I get that adrenaline satisfaction feeling. It's like, it's music, like Chad said, right? Music's a drug, and I'm addicted to it. You know what I mean? And I'm looking for the next one. That's it. You know? Making it in this industry means that all the hard work that I've put in, all the sacrifices that I made paid off. And being in that certain platform, or that plateau of status quo, I guess, only opens door for the next phase of that. The next phase of what I'm intending to do. With that career and with that certain of level of, I guess that level of attention, that level of status quo. You know what I mean? Like that's something that I'm gonna look back on later on and be like, all right, look, this is where I started from. This is where I'm at now, and realize that what, it was all worth it. It was all worth it, and I couldn't see myself doing anything else. And like I said, it's just phase one of the whole thing right now, and later on we get into phase two, and when we get there, open another door to phase three till the day I'm not in this earth no more. So, the times that I was in the Philippines as a kid, that was my learning process. That part was me having to understand my own emotions going through the hard times that I went through. And being here now as present day, I built an armor, you know what I mean? Like I'm suited up for this now. You know what I mean? Like I started first with the thimble, now I got the chest piece. I'm protected by, I protected myself with all these experiences and all the things that I've learned and built an armor to be able to have the ambition and to walk through the roads of life that I need to, in life in general, not just music itself, to be able to sit there and understand myself, to mature mentally, in this type of industry. Because, you come in here not prepared and you're just looking for the fame and the fortune. I mean, it's going to eat you up alive. If you don't have a certain core base of it, or having to learn that or understand that, then the industry's going to eat you up, bro. You know what I mean? And I think right now I'm still not done building the armor, but I think right now I got all the right pieces to get me to where I needed to be at this point. And like I said, we're just going to continue building till we get to the next phase of it. And that's what I feel that's the difference between then and now, is the maturity level of the whole thing and the understanding how the business works. Now, what I want for this is to be able to say that I made it, and egotistically sometimes to prove to the people that didn't believe in me, to say, to see that I have made it. And for that being said, I'm just letting people know, don't ever doubt anybody next to you. Always believe in the next person that comes along, whether they're independent artists or whatever it is in their career, whatever part of aspect in life that they're going through. Back them up, because the support system is important. And you know what I'm saying? Just make sure that, we spread love, man. That's all I want. Love. Spread love and spread good vibes.
Yo, we right here. Shout out to Chaz Hendricks, K West, DE in the motherfucking building. Days Effect. That's how we do this shit, man. And I don't even think they're ready for this shit. But we gonna come in like this. You heard me? Yeah. Yo, I don't think they ready to face a killer Freddy. Try to weigh me in, but the weight is too heavy. Aim is too steady, bargain too deadly. Busting on these haters till the full clip is empty. I can make that dream work, a real life movie. A surgeon general and I've been called in for duty. They ain't gon' make it when their bodies hit the pavement. They've been on the street, now it's time for me to break it. I'm solid, way golden, your ego too swollen. Pride is such a bitch, cause your heart to stay frozen. This the bottom line, I'm in that crazy state of mind. Stay up in your lane and get the fuck up out of mine. I'm speeding through the highway like I'm running out of time. Way ahead of myself, I could never fall behind. Not to be reckoned with, this world is way too delicate. Far from being over, I ain't even scratched the surface yet. Oh, they don't know, oh, they don't know. I turn the heat up when I'm in that zone. Oh, they don't know, oh, they don't know. I'm about to take off, get set, let's go. The type to breathe smoke and spit out flames. Nightmare in the game when you say my name. Oh, they don't know, oh, they don't know. You better stay woke if you ain't know. They got a be foolish to think I couldn't do this. Watch me switch it up from that old to that new shit. I'm such a nuisance, I don't need your 2 cents. Keep it to yourself, I could do without the bullshit. Never out my element, the realm of my residence. A little bit twisted on a mission to unravel it. Reaching new heights with every road I be stepping out. About to go the distance cause life is a marathon. A lion in the field, 81 Calvin Megatron. I'ma keep it running like a car with the engine out. Pedal to the metal, switch to full gear. Things could get hazy, still I see the go clear. And no, I'm not turning back. Time for me to counteract. I got a tight grip, there's no way that I'ma give them slack. Throwing for the taking, a king in the making. Time to go to war, the beast has awakened. I said they don't know, oh they don't know. I turn the heat up when I'm in that zone. Oh, they don't know, oh they don't know. I'm about to take off, get set, let's go. The type to breathe smoke and spit out flames. Nightmare in the game when you say my name. Oh, they don't know, oh they don't know. You better stay woke if you ain't know. Trying to keep me down, nah.